Give me some of that food. Hello there, this is Dr. Pete Pawelek. Thank you for joining me for this edition of the Daily Devo. Don't forget about our website, pastorpete.org. Today I am in John chapter 4. I'm going to start reading in verse 32, where Jesus said this. He said, I have food to eat that you don't know about. And the disciples said to one another, could someone have brought him something to eat? And then Jesus said, my food is to do the will of him who sent me and to finish his work. I want some of that food. Jesus says the spiritual food that I'm receiving from doing the Father's work is more satisfying than any earthly food you could ever give me. You know, Jesus says multiple times throughout his ministry, I don't even know how many times, a lot of times throughout the New Testament, that we see that Jesus says that his Father sent him, that God sent him, that he was sent by the Father to accomplish a mission. And that was his goal. That's what he wanted to do with every moment he had on this planet. He wanted to please the Father. And he said, whatever food you're thinking about is not going to satisfy me the same way as sharing the gospel with someone is. I have some food you don't even know about because I'm so focused on who the Father is and what the Father wants me to do. I'm being sustained in a spiritual way that you can't even imagine. You can't even comprehend. You can't even understand yet. If you read the book of Acts and you follow through with the disciples' lives, you see that they do get to this place where all that matters is doing God's will. They go to prison. They stand before, in the case of Paul, King Agrippa and other people, and just boldly proclaim the gospel because they understood that was it. That's what everything came down to at the end was sharing the love and the goodness and the grace of the gospel with as many as they could and trusting that God would sustain them in every other way. They got there, but it took a while. And I have a feeling maybe it's that way for you and me as well. We tend to get distracted with the things of this world. We tend to get distracted with the things our bosses put in front of us, or running our kids around to do the stuff that they're doing, or maybe we're just distracted with other stuff. Maybe it's good things, doing good works. Maybe it's serving at the church that's got us distracted from the actual thing that God has called us to do. Maybe we're doing a bunch of good stuff, but it's not even the stuff God wants us to do. It's possible, to do a bunch of good stuff and never get to what God has for you to do. So I want you to think about that today. I want you to pray about that today. And I want you to ask you, what food are you living on? Are you living on the earthly food that the world provides, or are you living on the spiritual food that can only come from the Father above? He said to them, I have food to eat that you don't know about. My food is to do the will of him who sent me. That's your food and my food as well. Have a blessed day. Come over and visit me at pastorpete.org. Share this post. I can't wait to see you again. God bless.